On their wedding night, the son was locked in the bridal room by his wife. For 6 months, he wasn't allowed to see anyone. Until one day, the mother peeked through the crack in the door and discovered a shocking secret. The person lying on the bed wasn't her son. The story began half a year ago. On the day of a lively wedding celebration, the mother thought she had finally welcomed a joyful new chapter. But the very next day, her daughter-in-law claimed the son had fallen ill and needed complete rest inside the bridal room. No one was allowed to enter. What chilled the mother even more was hearing her usually gentle son yelling from inside the room, telling her to get out. From that moment on. The door to the bridal room was locked. The woman tried everything, but never got to see her son again. The only connection she had was the dirty laundry left at the door by her daughter-in-law each night. Washing them became her only comfort until one day, she noticed something odd. The clothes were drenched in sweat. But how could someone bedridden for half a year sweat so much? Suspicious. She crept close to the door and overheard her daughter-in-law speaking with a man. She peeked through the crack and was instantly frozen. The man lying in bed wasn't her son at all. She kicked the door and stormed in to confront her. But the daughter-in-law acted innocent, saying her husband had just fallen asleep, and begged her not to make a scene. As they argued, a voice from inside the room called out. It was her son. Defending his wife, the woman pretended to leave, but moments later, she doubled back and caught the daughter-in-law in the arms of a strange man. The next day, she stopped the daughter-in-law at the door and yanked open her collar, revealing clear marks on her neck. She demanded to know what kind of insect left such marks and ordered her to hand over the key. The daughter-in-law refused. They struggled, and the key fell to the ground. The woman picked it up with a cold smile, determined to uncover the truth herself. But just as she was about to open the door, the daughter-in-law rushed out again to stop her. They began shouting. The noise drew the neighbors, so the woman exposed everything right then and there. Neighbors joined in, telling the daughter-in-law to open the door if she was truly innocent, as she kept making excuses. A blood-curdling cry came from inside the room. It was her son. Begging for help, the woman completely broke down, believing the lovers were silencing her son for good. She cried and begged the villagers to save him. Furious, the villagers decided to break down the door. The daughter-in-law screamed and begged, saying he really couldn't be disturbed. But no one believed her anymore. With a loud crash, the door was forced open, but what they saw left everyone speechless. The bridal room was empty. The daughter-in-law panicked, saying he had been there. That morning, someone spotted a clear footprint on the table. The mother was convinced that the wild man had taken her son. She cursed the daughter-in-law viciously. The villagers followed the footprints into the wild, finding similar traces along the way. The mother lost control, venting all her rage on the daughter-in-law, blaming her for her son's disappearance. As the search led nowhere and despair set in, suddenly, the light in the once locked bridal room turned on. Had the killer returned? The woman grabbed a tool to break in again, but the daughter-in-law blocked her desperately. Just what deadly secret was hidden behind that door?